Money in the Bank is tomorrow. So here we are. I am going to be predicting what I think is going to be happening at Money in the Bank. So, I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. So we're going to start things off with the pre-show match. Daniel Bryan and Rowan to take on the Usos in a non-title match. And to be honest, this does make sense. This does make sense because the last time I read this, it said it was for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, which, in my opinion, made no sense. So, I'm glad they fixed that, because why is a Raw team, because it doesn't make sense for a Raw team to get a title shot at the SmackDown titles. Just saying. We all know that, and we all know that's the case. There's no reason for a Raw team to be getting a title shot against a SmackDown team. So, this has been changed to a non-title match, or this already was a normal matchup, and they just thought it was for the titles. But, this is going to be typical 50-50 booking here. I am predicting that the Usos are going to get the victory here. Because Bryan and Rowan aren't defending their titles, it's okay for them to lose. Because, they're not defending their titles. If they were defending their titles, then I'd say, yeah, Bryan and Rowan will win. But because they're not defending their titles, they can take a loss here. So the Usos are going to get the victory. So we got the Cruiserweight Championship match. This match is guaranteed to be put on the pre-show. I'll be absolutely shocked if this does not get put on the pre-show. And if it's not on the pre-show, this should be your opening matchup on the main card. We got Tony Nese defending the Cruiserweight Championship against Ariya Daivari. Now, it's very weird that they're pushing Ariya Daivari now. Now, I know it's understandable. 205 doesn't have a lot of talents. They're running out of wrestlers to use because Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy, two of their best, got promoted out of 205. And it seems like Triple H, because as far as I'm aware, Triple H does 205 Live, NXT, and NXT UK. So it seems like Triple H should be getting ready to find some talents. Well, at least I hope he is finding talents for 205. So I think it's best to get some of those NXT UK guys you don't use and slot them in there. Slot them in 205. Because you may as well, because you need wrestlers. So 205 is losing a lot of talent, and it's understandable that they're trying to get new people up there. I don't think Ariya Daivari is going to win this matchup here because, Tony Nese just won the championship from Buddy Murphy at WrestleMania, so there's no reason for Tony Nese to lose the title immediately. So, Tony Nese, he's going to successfully retain his title here. Samoa Joe taking on Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship. This match is this is one match I don't really care for, but on paper the match card does look great on paper. But all I'm saying is that I've got a weird feeling, because I've been hearing reports going around that Rey Mysterio's son Dominic I've heard he's getting ready to sign with WWE. So it seems like they're getting ready to sign his son. I'm guessing to take his place when Rey Mysterio eventually retires, because Ric Flair did this. Look at Ric Flair. He had his daughter Charlotte is now wrestling to continue the Ric Flair legacy. So I'm guessing Dominic will do the same thing. and continue the legacy of Rey Mysterio. But it's been reported that Dominic could become a heel, and he will protect his family because he doesn't want Samoa Joe to do anything nasty to his family. So it's been reported that Samoa Joe could retain because of Dominic screwing his father over from winning the United States Championship. And honestly, I'm perfectly fine if they want to go that route. I won't have a problem with it. To me, I won't have a problem with it because I don't like family. Sure, family is getting involved is personal. It's a nice personal thing to do. But why does every family need to be involved in a Samoa Joe feud? It was fine with AJ Styles and Wendy because it's the first time we've seen it in a very long time. So, but I am predicting Samoa Joe to win anyway, regardless what happens. I think Samoa Joe needs to hold on to that championship and show his dominance. And in my opinion, I would have Samoa Joe drop it to... If I had to pick someone who I would want Samoa Joe to drop it to, I would like him to drop it to Ricochet. That's just my personal opinion. So, yeah, Samoa Joe to retain his title over Rey Mysterio. That is what I'm going with. Kofi Kingston to take on Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship. Kofi Mania was a very exciting road to WrestleMania. And everything about Kofi Kingston was fun. I don't want to look at Kofi Kingston as a transitional champion. I actually want him to have a good run. Doesn't matter if it's 2 months, 3 months. I actually want him to have a good run with that championship, which has been reported that he will be having a decent run. So it's not one of your... So I just don't want it to be one of your typical, okay, he's lived his dream, now let's just take it off him. You know, that transitional type of bullshit. If you're going to put a title on someone, I actually want to see someone have a bit of a run with it. Because everyone's been saying that Kofi Kingston won't last a month as the WWE Champion. And I think Kofi Kingston has proved that he can last more than a month as the WWE Champion. As much as I want Kevin Owens to become the new WWE Champion, I don't want him to become the champion yet. Save it for that Saudi show or Stomping Grounds. Have him win it at a different pay-per-view. But right now, I think Kofi Kingston should get past Money in the Bank and retain the WWE Championship with a lovely Trouble in Paradise. The Miz taking on Shane McMahon inside a steel cage. You know, I'm done with this feud. I'm done with this feud. I don't want to see this anymore. It was good at WrestleMania. The build-up they had for it at WrestleMania was fantastic. But now they're just oversaturating it, especially with the wild card rule. And the fact that Shane McMahon can show up on 2 different brands because, you know, the McMahons run all of WWE. The McMahons run all of WWE. So any McMahon can show up on any show. Kind of like a wild card rule as well for them. The fact that The Miz and Shane McMahon are doing their feud on both Raw and SmackDown is mind-bogglingly dumb. If you have The Miz on Monday Night Raw, at least have him stay on Monday Night Raw and continue the feud with Shane. Now, if you wanted Shane to feud with Roman, you could have had Shane and Roman do their feud on SmackDown with Elias, and you have Shane McMahon on SmackDown, on Raw, doing his thing with Miz. That's not difficult to do. You don't have to intertwine both into 2 different shows. It's oversaturating. It's overexposing storylines. It's overexposing the storylines and talents. And honestly, I don't like that. They need to get rid of this wild card rule. I was okay with this idea at first. Because it reminded me of the old days. But now, with this much talent that you have now, there's no reason to really be trying to ruin the brand split like this. Especially with people like Chad Gable and Buddy Murphy, who absolutely deserve TV time. Buddy Murphy hasn't made his debut yet, all because of this wildcard rule. So they need to get rid of the wildcard rule. I'm predicting Miz to win because, Shane won at Mania and WWE will do their typical 50-50 booking. Becky Lynch will defend the SmackDown Live Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. Actually, you know what? I'll talk about Becky Lynch at the end. I'll talk about Becky Lynch as the end. We'll skip this one. Roman Reigns to take on Elias. This one is a very predictable one. I'll be shocked if Elias wins this match, but I think we all know. I think we all know who's winning this one. Roman Reigns. He'll be walking away with the W. We got the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now this just really makes me angry. They promoted Alexa Bliss in the match, and then days before Money in the Bank, they announced that Alexa Bliss was never cleared to compete, and they had to pull her. They had to pull her from the match. Sure, they're giving Nikki Cross an opportunity. That, I'm not frustrated about. I'm okay with them giving Nikki Cross an opportunity. The fact that I'm pissed off is the fact that they were building Alexa up as a participant in the match when they knew she was injured. They knew she had a concussion. They knew she had concussion problems. So why did you put her in the match? If you knew she had concussion issues, why did you put her in the match in the first place? This is not a knock on Alexa Bliss. I'm pretty sure the girl wants to wrestle. I'm sure Alexa Bliss wants to get in there and perform. I know WWE are very protective when it comes to concussions, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with WWE looking after their talents, protecting them from getting any further injured. That's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. It's more the fact that they were thinking too clearly. They were thinking far ahead. They let Alexa wrestle while she had a concussion. Is that why they've been doing these storylines with her not being able to get her ring gear? Is this why that they had these storylines where, she's not competing in her ring gear, she's competing in her Moment of Bliss clothes? Is that why they're just having her do stuff like this? Is because they know she's injured and they're trying to make up a story where, she can't find her ring gear anywhere? Are you trying to make Alexa Bliss look like a clown? I don't know, man, but I'm not a fan of WWE just putting Alexa Bliss in the Money in the Bank and then a couple of days later, knowing that she's injured, they pull her. If you knew she was injured, you should have never put her in the match in the first place. That's my problem. That's my problem with this. The fact that they never bothered. They never even bothered to think twice about it. They just wanted to put her in. And then all of a sudden they're like, she's got a concussion, we've got to take her out. If you knew she was injured, you should have never put her in the first place. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, anyway, participants. Natalya, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, Carmella, and Nikki Cross. Replacing Alexa Bliss. Who do I see winning? This is a very tough one. I want a SmackDown superstar to win, Because SmackDown didn't win it last year. It's a tough one. If I had to pick between two, I really want, it'd be Mandy Rose and Ember Moon. Those are the two people I would want to win. You know, I am going, and some of you may be wondering, well, why aren't I going to pick Bayley? Now, on the Bayley, I've been hearing stories that they could potentially turn her heel. Now, that I would absolutely be thrilled with. I was never really a big fan of Bayley as a babyface. I'm not a big Bayley fan as a face. I understand she's that lovable babyface, but Bayley, to me, she's just never been someone I look at as, yeah, I love Bayley. I want to hug like Bayley. Bayley and her character is just for kids. That's all it is. It's just a happy, friendly little girl. It's just a happy, friendly person who wants to be friendly with little kids. I'm okay with WWE catering to their kids, but you know, they've got a lot of wrestlers like that. They've got Carmella, they've got Naomi, they've got Dana Brooke. You know, they've got these wrestlers to be role models for little kids. Sure, they had Sasha Banks. Sure, they had Sasha Banks do it as well. Like, they had a lot of role models. They have a lot of, and they could even be role models as heels. Who knows? Bayley as a heel could make the kids even be more attracted to Bayley. You don't have to be a babyface to connect with a younger audience. Sure, some people may think, oh, well, kids won't know any better. Kids won't know the difference. Like, they would know she's a bad girl. They would know she's the baddie. She's beating up on people who the kids are supposed to be supporting. Does that really matter anyway? Does that really matter now? Because the fact that the wrestling community cheers whoever the hell they want to. The wrestling fans in this world cheer whoever they want to cheer for now. So face and heel doesn't really matter. So the whole term of face and heel doesn't matter anymore because fans cheer for whoever the hell they want. So it doesn't really matter anymore. Bayley can still be a role model for kids as a heel. But the reason why I'm not picking Bayley is not because I don't like her. I respect Bayley as an in-ring performer. I know her as an in-ring performer. She's good. I'm just not a fan of her character. If they do go ahead and turn Bayley heel, you may potentially be hearing me say I love Bayley. But until then, I don't know if it's going to be true. And Money in the Bank are for heels. The Money in the Bank contract stuff, they're for heels. And as far as I'm aware, the only heels in this match are Mandy Rose and Nikki Cross. Because as far as I'm aware, Dana Brooke's a babyface. Carmella's a babyface. Ember Moon's a babyface. Bayley's a babyface. Naomi's a babyface. And Natalia's a babyface. They've got like five faces. They've only got 2 heels. So maybe they are potentially going to have a babyface win to turn heel. But if I had to pick someone, I'm just gonna go with Ember Moon. I'm just gonna go and predict Ember Moon because I want to see her become the champion. Next, we got the men's Money in the Bank. We got Sami Zayn, who replaced Braun Strowman. Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Prince Ali. Nah, I'm kidding. Mustafa Ali, Finn Balor, Andrade, and Randy Orton. That's 9 people? Holy cow! I just counted up how many people I was counting. It's 9. Is that really 9? Sammy, Ricochet, Drew, Baron, Ali, Finn, Andrade, Orton. Hey, Oh, must have overcounted. Must have overcounted for some reason. Who do I see winning this one? Who do I want to go for here? Some people... This match on paper has potential to be a good one. And in my honest opinion, I want WWE to go with the tradition of having one for Raw and one for SmackDown. One briefcase for Raw, one briefcase for SmackDown. But I don't think they'll do that. I want to see them do that more often, but I've got a funny feeling they're not going to do that. I think they're probably going to have, like, both brands. Maybe each year they're going to give a briefcase to both brands. Or hopefully after this year they start with that tradition. I want to see Andrade to win the Money in the Bank. I want Andrade to win. Because, now, speaking of Andrade, I want to talk about Andrade real quick here before I move on. I heard a report saying that Vince McMahon is willing to give Andrade a chance. He's willing to push Andrade, but under one condition. If Andrade can learn how to speak English. Now, some of you may say, oh, well, this is a bit unfair, don't you think? Some of you may think, well, he's got Zelina Vega. Why does he need to speak English for? Why should Vince McMahon push him when he speaks English? He's got Zelina Vega. Use your head, people. Use your head. Why would Vince want Andrade to speak English? If he wants to push him when he starts to speak English, think about it. He wants to split him and Zelina. It's clear. Why would he say, I'll only push you if you speak English? He obviously doesn't want Zelina Vega talking for him. He obviously doesn't want Zelina Vega to talk for him anymore. So you guys need to think about it. Yes, I understand it is sort of bull. It is real bullshit that he won't push him now because he doesn't speak English very well. Yeah, it is a bit bullshit. I will agree. It is a bit bullshit. But at the same time, it actually makes sense. Because I feel like because I've been saying I think it's time to split him and Zelina Vega. I want to see Zelina Vega as a babyface. When I look at Zelina Vega, I don't look at heel. Yeah, she may play a good heel, but I don't look at Zelina Vega, I'm like, yeah, she's going to be a dastardly heel on SmackDown Live. She's going to be the top heel of SmackDown Live. Now, I look at Zelina Vega, I actually look at a babyface. What have I been saying? What have I been saying the times when I bring up Andrade and Zelina Vega breaking up? You have Andrade and Charlotte Flair as the new power couple. You have Charlotte and Andrade as the power couple of SmackDown Live. How difficult is that? How difficult is that to have Andrade and Charlotte as the power couple of SmackDown Live? And you have Zelina Vega with Aleister Black. How is that so hard for you people to think about? Andrade and Charlotte as the power couple. And you have Zelina Vega and Aleister Black. So, I think that is the direction they need to go. You have Andrade as WWE Champion, and then you have Charlotte Flair with him. And then at Stomping Grounds or Extreme Rules, or hell, even SummerSlam, if you really want to, make this for SummerSlam. Book a first-time mixed tag team match. Actually, I think they had done this before. I think WWE has done this before. Have a mixed tag team match where Aleister Black and Zelina Vega compete for the WWE and SmackDown women's titles. Have them team up to take on Charlotte and Andrade for both belts. It's clearly obvious that's what you should do. And I think that is something that WWE should be doing. It's got money written all over it, guys. Don't you think Zelina and Andrade may be better off apart? Sure, they've had a great run together. As they say, nothing lasts forever. Andrade and Vega are not going to stay together forever. This is the time to split Andrade and Zelina Vega. I don't want to hear about it anymore from you people. It's better off if it's time for them to split up and be enemies. So that is my idea for SummerSlam. You have Charlotte and Andrade take on Vega and Black. That's my idea. So I'm going to pick Andrade to win. Seth Rollins takes on AJ Styles for the Universal Championship. This match is clearly not going to have a clean winner. I think this match is definitely going to have a bit of a screwy finish. This one's easily going to have a screwy finish. I think Seth Rollins is going to win by disqualification. Or even AJ Styles could win by disqualification. I've been hearing reports going around that we may see Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar at the Saudi Arabian show. And no, just because they called it Super Showdown isn't going to make me think they're coming back to Australia. I know they're going to Saudi Arabia. Nice try, WWE. They're trying to trick people into thinking they're going to do Australia again because it's called Super Showdown. Don't fall for it. They're going to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So yeah, either way, I think Seth Rollins is going to be keeping his title via DQ if it's AJ Styles that wins by DQ or Seth Rollins. And we'll see. And I've been hearing they could do a AJ Styles heel turn. Well, let's see if the fans will actually boo him this time. And finally, guys, we're going to talk about Becky 2 belts. And she defends both of her titles against Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair in separate matches. Becky, she's easily going to retain against Lacey Evans. Now, I don't think she's going to bury Lacey Evans. I don't think they'll bury Lacey Evans. I don't think it'll be a squash. I think they'll have a good match. But Becky will just overcome Lacey Evans. And I think Becky is going to lose to Charlotte. I'm not saying this because I'm a Charlotte fan. I just think it makes sense to take one title off of Becky. There's no reason for her to hold around 2 belts. And besides, the catchphrase Becky 2 belts is actually getting annoying. Vince doesn't like the word belt. We all know Vince doesn't like the word belt. So as far as I'm aware, he's probably getting ready to take one of those belts off of Becky, since she can stop saying, Becky 2 belts. Champ, champ. I think she'll keep holding the Raw Women's Championship, and make her departure from SmackDown to join the Raw roster. So anyway, guys, that are my predictions. Those are my predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that thumbs up if you guys did enjoy. Comment down below your predictions for Money in the Bank. And I'll see you all tomorrow when I review Money in the Bank.